Now, the case against former Police Commissioner Phahlane and his 5 co-accused has been postponed to March next year. The former top cop and 5 others are facing multiple charges, including fraud, corruption and money laundering. Phahlane has maintained he's being set up and has approached the public protector for help. eNCA reporter Silindelo Masikane is covering that story. She joins us now. Good afternoon, Silindelo. Thank you for your time here on Today. Just a brief court appearance, I understand, happened today. What took place there?
A very brief appearance, but we saw the former police commissioner, Phahlane, as well as 5 other accused major generals, lieutenant generals in the crime intelligence department of the police services back in the dock today. And of course, they are facing charges related to a procurement of surveillance equipment back in 2016 for the Fees Must Fall protests. And they're accused of partaking in what's called cover quoting to the tune of 54 million rand, Bradan. Now, we understand that investigations in earnest actually began back in 2017, and the defense attorneys for the accused raising issues around many of the delays in this particular matter. We know that for this case, the accused were arrested back in September, some of them actually spending a night in jail. And at this point, they're saying that the state needs to be held accountable by the court to adhere to some of the timelines that they are putting forward. So we did hear some of those complaints from the defense lawyers, and we had an opportunity, Bradan, to speak to one of them who is actually representing accused number 7, that is Agnes Masikane, Major General Agnes Masikane from the Free State Crime Intelligence Department. This is new legal representation for her. So her lawyer, as well as one other lawyer for accused number 3, they will need to have the contents of the docket also disclosed to them. Let's just take a listen to what Mr. Majabu had to say.
Firstly, I can confirm my appearance on behalf of General Masikane, who is cited as accused number 7 in the draft indictment. Firstly, on her behalf, we do not have the contents of the docket yet. However, the state has undertaken, and I have no reason to doubt that they would comply. They gave an undertaking to give me the docket, which they say is quite voluminous, by the end of next week, whereafter I would obviously go through it and see whether or not there are any further particulars that I might request. So in fairness to the state, I cannot attribute the delay to them, other than to place on record that this matter comes as far back as 2016, and to the extent that it's such an old matter, there is a concern that our clients' rights could be adversely affected. But look, I'm new in the matter, so I'm in no position to complain about any delays. But the matter has been provisionally postponed to the 30th of January to enable us as legal representatives and the state to get our act together in terms of making sure that everybody has got the docket. Secondly, the state must make up their mind whether or not this matter is staying here in the regional court or is going to be transferred in the High Court.
And Silindelo, what is the state saying about the strength of its case?
Well, they believe they have the right accused in the dock. They say they've crossed their T's, they've dotted their I's, Bradan. And they're saying that in terms of the delays that are being alleged by the defense, they're saying that when these investigations actually began back in 2017, those who are in the dock were actually still in the employment of the force. And therefore, they're accusing them of having stalled and stopped many of the attempts to get the ball rolling in these investigations. Also saying that they had to actually obtain some top secret files in order to be able to charge the accused. Therefore, some court orders had to also be obtained. Let's just take a listen to the spokesperson for the investigative directorate.
For starters, there were various assertions made that investigation started in 2017, but we must also put it out there that some of the main documents that were required were classified, meaning that IPID had to go through a rigorous process in order to get those documents declassified, using the assistance of the IPID officials, as well as when the investigating director took place. We also assisted in that regard. So that's first and foremost. That on its own delayed the investigation process for the matter to eventually get to court this year. So once that has done, the investigating directorate has only had, this is about the second appearance, if I'm not mistaken, of this particular matter. We are ready for pre-trial to take place between the parties. The matter has been postponed to the 30th of January for pre-trial to take place between the parties, but it's only going to come back to court in March for the pre-trial, which will involve the presiding magistrate in the matter. By that time, all of the parties who need further and better particulars, if that is the case, would have then submitted their particular request to us to then furnish those particular additional information. But furthermore, we have also committed to have provided the indictment that all of the accused require, which has been authorized by the 30th.
Finally, Silindelo, the matter will be back in court next year?
Next year, 2023 in March to be exact, the 10th of March. But before then, we will see legal representatives meeting with the state to find out in terms of the deadlines that have been set in terms of the signed indictment, in terms of further particulars that are needed. But for the accused to be actually back in court before a magistrate, we will be seeing that on the 10th of March, 2023.
Thank you very much, Silindelo Masikane, award-winning senior reporter here at eNCA, for that update in the case involving former Police Commissioner Phahlane.